Yeah, next up.
Birmingham.
Oh, I'm really looking forward.
I just followed science.
We're like an hour and a half early. Yeah, but where is actually the NEC?
I'm trying to find out where we're actually.
Is that it? No, that's not. That's just a house.
There's EGX.
Wait. Are we lost?
Yeah.
I think we're lost.
That's an exit.
Jordan, stop and ask the directions. I know you get us lost.
I'm following the sightseeing EGX roads. What was it?
Also a 20-minute walk away.
What the fuck?
Oh, great.
So there is just like miles of car park.
For what purpose?
I don't know.
Just do a circle.
Is that it? I think that's.
So building a stone.
Let's just explore. We got phones.
What does the NEC look like? Is that actually the NEC?
I don't fucking know.
You don't know. You just pointed at it like it was common
I'm
sense.
guessing it was that's the NEC. This the entire area is the NEC. So I like it well.
Or is that not the NEC?
I think it's all the NEC.
I think it's all the NEC. Oh, that's too confusing. I think we're back to this. Hall 16. What hall are we? 7. 8.
EGX that way.
Oh, it's actually a lot bigger than I thought.
You recording? It's me. Hello. There's only so much memory. That's not even an
No,
attempt
it's
of
not
a
a pocket. It's not a pocket. It's not a pocket.
The wild Jordan. Did they say they were going to call? They said they should. Well, I hope it's not today because my phone's off.
Did you skip one? Fuck's sake. The team is very self-explanatory. Move on.
What is that handwriting? Look at it. Oh my god. Oh my god. It looks like some Egyptian symbols. Oh, is that actually a scribble act? Cinematic shot.
then how to.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Amanda, your train manager speaking. Welcome aboard to all passengers that have joined us on this 9:30 Virgin Pentalino service to London Euston. Service today we're calling at Birmingham International, followed by Coventry, Watford Junction and London Euston. Scheduled arrival time is 10:56 this morning. First class on this train can be found towards the rear today.
EGX2017 is now open.
Is he actually asleep? No.
What are the white ones? What? Oh, those great. It's
obviously disabilities.
really? Cheese and chocolate? Hi. Oh, is this for the vlog? It's me for the vlog, isn't it? Hello.
Very wobbly camera. So EGX done, and that marks the end of Transfuser. We got a lot of really great feedback from people playing the game. We had a really great time there. We've taken a short break and we're ready to hit the ground running again. This week we've been pretty much just doing some sort of post-Transfuser paperwork, but we've also been looking at updating the balancing, updating the UI, a lot of stuff. I've personally been going back to the next set of ships to be put in, the cruisers, the kind of technical support ships. They're going to be a little bit more tricky to implement than the destroyers, but they will be coming in next, so I'm really excited for that. So that's what I've been working on at the moment. But yeah, we're really excited for what we've got coming next. I know we're hopefully going to be releasing a public beta of the game this month, which is very exciting and also very terrifying, but I guess we'll see how that goes. They can edit that out if they decide that that's not going to happen, if everything goes awfully.
So, it's been about a week since EGX. Dark Planet Studios went on a break for about a week after a very, very, very tiring week of practically full work. Obviously, on the Monday and the Tuesday, myself, Finn and Courtney were at Celtic Game Show, showing off there. That was great. Got to talk to a bunch of local developers. We had people play it before we went up to EGX on the Wednesday. So that was nice. We got a bit more idea of what we were expecting before we went up there. We knew it had some bugs before we went up. We knew it had its issues. Actually, while we were there at Celtic, one of the issues we thought had been solved came up again. Where player 2 would randomly stop moving for some reason, or lag out. It looked like a lag out, but you still had inputs going in, so it was a bit odd. We had really, really great feedback from a lot of people. A lot of people enjoyed to play the game. We had people coming up once, twice, 3 times sometimes just to have a go. People bring their friends back, people trying to challenge us, the developers. So that was really great fun. Then on this Sunday was probably one of the more difficult days. A lot of us were tired after the week. A lot of us drained more than anything. It was a good day, but still, just I think the entire EGX moment of being at this event was nothing like any other events we've had to do so far. So I think we now got hit with the hard reality of what it was going to be like. Some of the video of people pouring in and whatnot was very surprising. It was great having people play though, so that was good. It then ended with a drive back Monday night. We're at the end of a very, very tiring week.
So to recap, we were working for EGX for the past few vlogs. We obviously went there and Celtic Game Show a couple of weeks back now. Just to recap for those, very tiring week. Obviously we started Celtic on the Monday and Tuesday, drove up to Birmingham Wednesday, did EGX until Sunday, came back Monday, so just a straight week of all that. I think we went into EGX worrying slightly. I think from a development point of view, we see the flaws in what we're doing. But it turned out it's pretty good. We had some pretty great feedback for all 4 of the days, people coming back multiple times, challenging the developers, challenging their friends. So yeah, overall pretty good. We had the opportunity to meet some publishers and other industry people as well. So overall, we gained a lot from that. And at the moment we're just coming back. We obviously had a short break not long back, and now we're working back on getting everything polished again, getting everything to the point where we can build and put out a first early beta version, effectively. So we're looking for, hopefully some of those people who played at EGX will come back and play online during the playtest sessions. Again, it just comes straight back to organising a few things from my point of view, and network code. And network code's a pain, it's always going to be a pain, but hopefully we can find some solutions for that. I think it pretty much covers it for now, from me at least.
Going to EGX was a major help for us as a team. Like, we basically, although we had done stuff where we got feedback, it wasn't really anywhere near the level of detail that we needed for what the state of our game is currently. So having the public play the game and say stuff that they liked and what they disliked, and also having the same from people who are actually part of the industry, it was like a real big help to understand where we need to go directly with the game to improve it, like, in a big way. So we got great notes down from the event overall, and also there was some, like, we talked to a bunch of the other teams there as well, who were there for Transfuser also, and some of the teams had, like, brilliant work, and it was really nice to, like, see the variations that happened between all the teams when it came to what products they made. EGX itself was really tiring. It was a long period of time, because it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, but then there's also the Wednesday setup, so it was 5 days of just basically standing for every single day fully. So that took a good while to get through, but overall though, it was definitely worth it. One thing that I always find really interesting when I think back though is, why does the NEC have so many different subway stations? I think there was, like, when I say subway stations, I don't mean subways, I mean the food place subway. And there was, like, I think there was 5 or 6 of them in the NEC, and I was like, why do we need that many? They were missing, there's the spoons there, which is quite surprising too. I never actually got to go into them because that one was fully crowded, because it was right opposite the entrance. There was no chance.
EGX has been a fantastic experience. It's been great being there. It's been incredibly tiring, but I think it's all sort of paid out in the end. I really enjoyed being there. It's been really great to see people playing our game and enjoying our game, which is the main part. We did have some issues with player 2. The connection was always a bit weird. The whole thing about networking is our biggest problem at the moment. But despite that, whenever people came up to play, with 2 friends would come up to play, obviously someone had to sit on the laggy side. But despite that, they seem to still really enjoy it. They'd still win as well sometimes as well. It's good to see that sort of the gameplay is quite. It seems simple enough for people to get into. There's been quite a few kids who came to come play it, and they picked it up quite easily, which is really good to see. One thing we have noticed, and there are a couple of things we do need to change, and that is mostly balancing at the moment. There's been a couple of metas that have happened at the moment, and that is the first thing was lasers. Lasers were very strong. Their range was quite high, and their damage output was insane. And because we had to change it before EGX really started, so that they would hopefully work better on player 2, which they didn't anyway, was to get it so they automatically hit. And I think we're going to stick with that concept maybe, but from longer ranges, that's made it incredibly powerful, even against things like fighters, because the fighters only ever take maximum one fighter damage per shot, but because they were firing so frequently and at longer ranges, fighters were getting destroyed before they even got there. So we changed that midway through, a couple of jury rigs while we were actually at the event. But and then the new meta came forward. I think it was actually discovered either by Ben, or it was actually by one of the players, and that was you run all corvettes and you run all railguns, and that is very strong. Although there is still a counter to it, and that is the fighters. If you run all fighters, then that's a pretty good method of taking care of them. So it's nice to see that. Well, I'd say balancing is coming up alright. It's good to see that some things are working. We have got counters for things as well, but obviously we need to be a little bit more, a little bit less min max ideally.